This is False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for Fansided. I'm joined today by a man who's actually in a better mood than me right this instant. He's just as tired as I am because the dogs are inevitable, even if there's football going on. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. I hate the Atlanta Falcons. How are you?
The Dallas Cowboys are on a bye week. I'm doing wonderful, man. No, it's
Hell yeah.
tough start in Germany for the Falcons. Not how you want it to start your Sunday at all.
No, when Miss Izzy's like, I need to poop midway through the third quarter, as I just petted her back, I think she had the right idea. She knew it's like that pig in the black collagen that tells you what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, Izzy had to poop, and the Falcons followed suit and pooped all over themselves.
100% here, but obviously this is a college football podcast, and we're not going to do anything like that for time reasons. We are going to be doing this semi-live before the AP Top 25 poll comes out. We could react to it later on in the show, but we're not going to. So with that in mind, let's move on to our first and 15 with playoffs. You kidding me? Our projected 12-team playoff brackets and our first four teams out. I was on one today last
Hell
night.
yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start. I think I mentioned this on last night's show with 3 yards and a cloud of punt. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out all of our shows. It's really good here on the false start. I got A&M at 1.
Okay, nice. I have A&M at 2, projected ACC champion. I have Indiana at 1 because I think that with the way things are, I think Indiana can still beat Ohio State. I'm probably going to pick Indiana to beat Ohio State in Indianapolis, especially with a little bit of home field advantage there. And when I consider that, like, I know that the committee's going to value that more than Texas A&M beating Alabama.
I'm going to be an ass. I'm way down in Indiana.
I know you are, and I don't understand it. We'll get into it when we talk Heisman, I'm sure.
I think they're a fake tough guy team. I think they're a fake tough guy team. They're without the cool uniforms of Oregon. I'm so done with Big Ten football.
Why do you think, like, with Indiana, why are you signaling them out for that? Because, like, I think Ohio State is fake tough guys because they haven't been in a tough situation since they played Texas in the first week of the season.
I mean, I think the whole Big Ten's fake tough, but I think Ohio State's kind of been there and they've recruited at a level where it doesn't matter.
Right, but at the same time, if you want to talk about it, okay, in the SEC, Texas A&M won by one over a Notre Dame team we think is good, not great. Texas A&M won by one possession over Auburn at home, nonetheless. Georgia, they played with their food a little bit against Kentucky. Like, we've seen all of these teams looking perfect. Alabama lost to Florida State and played a really close game against South Carolina. Like, none of these teams are perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
But all these teams, with the exception of Indiana and Ole Miss, schedule somebody who's worth a damn in the non-conference. I'm tired of that. But
But okay.
Indiana, Indiana, I've been championing them all year long, and they have an opportunity to earn it back for me. They're going to probably skull drag Wisconsin and Purdue.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in Indianapolis right now. But like I if Penn State had James Franklin as their coach, they might have won that game
I think
potentially.
they would have lost that game if they more handily if they had James Franklin as their head coach.
So yeah, I'm way down on Indiana. At 2, I've got Ohio State.
I have Ohio State at 3 and A&M at
Three,
2.
A&M at 2. 3, I've got Alabama. I
Okay.
think that they're playing. They can handle the gauntlet, whatever they throw their way. This is not a perfect team. I think that they can run the football. They cannot run the football. They can do just about everything else. I think their pass rush gives them basically all the best makings of what makes all the best teams in the SEC possible. I think that they're probably going to beat A&M in Atlanta, but right now A&M hasn't lost yet. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I've got right there. So you have Indiana at 1, A&M at 2, Ohio State at 3, correct?
Yeah, and Alabama at 4.
Alabama at 4. I go back and forth on this. I'll probably put Indiana at 4 just to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're gonna see these four teams make it to the SEC and Big Ten championship games, and should that happen, they're not gonna lose their top four seeds.
No, but it's not by much. I have Georgia at 5. I don't think that like they are that far off in Indiana. I think if they would have played head to head, I think Georgia wins.
I have Texas Tech at 5 because I think that the committee is going to honor conference championship, and Texas Tech I think is going to win the Big 12 championship. And as discussed, I also have Georgia losing this upcoming week. So when you consider those two things,
That's not happening. But the Georgia part's not the Georgia part's not happening. But I think Texas Tech will be higher depending
mhm.
on what does shake out. I've got Ole Miss at 6 and then Texas Tech at 7.
Okay, and I have Georgia at 6 and Ole Miss at 7. So
Okay.
I think they still honor the Georgia Ole Miss head to head.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process here. I think just like when I was walking the dog, whatever it is, I'm like, who would I take head to head right now? And that's kind of how I did it. Just again, the Indiana thing, like I watch enough of it, but the Penn State thing just left such a bad taste in my mouth, and
Yeah.
like it just I can't shake it. It's gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah. I don't know if there's
Again,
any
though,
other.
like Penn State's not a nobody. Like I understand they've had a bad season, but that is a good, like a very talented football team. Like you're talking about Ohio State recruiting at that level. Penn State's been recruiting at that level. Like Penn State has better players than Indiana does.
And they're not going to win a Big Ten game. So
Yeah,
like,
I understand that, but like you still see that like this is college football, man. Like this happens every single year. We have games that don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
no, it always is that case. At 8, I have Notre Dame at 8.
I also have Notre Dame at 8. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be clear. There could not be a more fall ass backwards into an 8 seed than what Notre Dame is about to do, but that's what's going to happen. Notre Dame is going to fall ass backwards into the 8 seed in a home game.
It's unbelievable because I think our last two teams in like not a whole hell of a lot of respect here. At number 9, I have Texas
Hey, me too. Hell yeah.
because I think they lose to Georgia. I think that they beat A&M at the end of the season.
Yeah, either way, like I think Texas wins one of those games. And like
Yeah,
if they do end up losing to Georgia this week, then I will pick them against A&M because I think Texas is finding itself. Like I expect them to give both teams a good game. No doubt about it.
I do too. I think the opening point spreads Georgia laying 5.5. We'll
Yeah.
see. That seems fair, but Texas could
Yeah.
totally win that game. And then at number 10, extremely reluctantly, I have Oregon at 10.
I said screw Oregon. I got the USC Trojans in
Yeah,
at
let's
10,
go, brother. Yeah.
baby. I think USC is playing better football than Oregon is right now, and I think USC wins that head to head. And like I think that they vault up into the college football playoff mix.
I don't know if you saw this, but a bunch of Oregon players tend to like do this. They like to go up to the student section and rub it in their face, and people at Kinnick were throwing beer at them.
Good.
Like just what, like rubbing in their face or being beer. Good the whole way around, but
No, I meant
like,
good on the fans. I
yeah, I
not
know.
good on Oregon. Good on the fans.
It's this fake tough guy nonsense, and this is so finesse. This is a team this is the most fraudulent team that could potentially make the playoff right now. I'm not buying it. I will be rooting against them every day, the rest of the way. But Washington decided to throw up all over itself last night in the wintry mix.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Shouts cousin Damon. Having a tough weekend.
Was that his first time drinking gin?
Most likely. Most likely.
Yeah, he keeps it. You want to get the Christmas spirit before Thanksgiving, and then just threw up all over himself. And Wisconsin, they just have a buzz going the whole time because of their beer.
100%. Yeah, it's a steady baseline.
Hell yeah, I love that you put USC in there at 10.
I
They are
couldn't
my
do it. I'm just like I started writing Oregon's name down and I was just like I can't do this. I don't have the conviction.
Yeah, USC is among my first four out. So at 11, I've got the ACC champion Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
I do too. I really wanted to put Miami in here. Fun fact, it is very difficult for Miami to get into the ACC championship, much less win it at this point because like I still think Miami is probably the best team in the ACC, at least the most, like for sure the most talented. There's no doubt about it. And like, but like you've really shot yourself in the foot with the games that you lost here. You have a head-to-head loss to SMU and Louisville, who are two teams that are vying for a spot in Charlotte. So like, there's really not a realistic way. And then when I'm looking at the rest of the teams in the ACC, I guess Georgia Tech is the one I trust the most.
Yeah, I was sitting there as the games were coming down. I'm like, okay, if Virginia wins, I'm going to put them at 11. If they lose and Louisville wins, I'm putting Louisville. If they both lose, I'm going to put Georgia Tech, and that's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. Here we are.
And at 12, James Madison, I've got them winning the group of five.
So I'm still gonna stick to my guns and go with USF here.
Okay.
Just because I think I would actually love to see USF and JMU play because I think that would be a really fun football game. Like I think those are two very quality group of five teams. But USF is still in the driver's seat to make the American Championship game. And I think that USF has enough like quality non-conference play. Like you have the win over Florida, and I understand Florida's not that good, but you're still a G5 program beating Florida. Like that still matters. And like I think they have enough goodwill built up to win the American and like slightly edge out JMU just because the Sun Belt sucks. Like the Sun
Yeah.
Belt is not very good.
No, but I looked at FPI this morning. I'm gonna probably write this for Dawn of the Dog later. I don't know. I haven't eaten today yet. I gotta shock the pool with some Taco Bell. I need it, man.
I also need to eat. Not gonna be Taco Bell because I gotta go back to work after this, but
Yeah, no. Izzy's fun. She's also a lot, and I'm also not her mom or dad, and this is false.
it's tough life for Izzy. You're not mom or dad.
I mean, why would you want to listen to me anyway, other than on the show?
That's right. That's right.
Nobody else does. It's fine. I did come across this on FPI this morning for what I'm going to write for John of the Dog. The ACC may not make it based on odds. I think they have South Florida and JMU ahead of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see how things play out here.
How does I'm gonna look this up real quick, make sure I got this absolutely right. So right now, FPI gives South Florida a 39.7% chance to get in, JMU at 35.8, and then Georgia Tech at 35.6.
Okay.
Texas is the first team out in this situation at 45-2. They kind of get screwed by the ACC group of five.
Where was Vanderbilt? What were their odds? Because we were trying to predict that on Saturday night.
They they are not among the first four teams out. I think they're probably like what exactly was it? Vanderbilt
I said 38 was the number I threw out there.
24.1,
Wow,
which
that's a lot lower than I thought.
yeah, it's behind Oklahoma, it's behind Georgia Tech, it's behind North Texas, but like they're right there with USC and Utah.
Okay. Okay.
So like they're not dead by any means. I think once you get down to like Tulane at 13.1%, SMU is at 11.1, Miami is at 10.8, and then everybody else is like after like well below 10. Like
Yeah.
Michigan's got like virtually no shot because they got to beat Ohio State.
They got to beat Ohio State and get help. Like you're not like even beating Ohio State, I still don't think they would get like jump up high
Hmm.
enough.
You need Oregon to beat USC too.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, like those are the two teams that can throw a wrench in absolutely everything. So my first four out, that's the wrong sheet. My first four out are Oklahoma, BYU, Vanderbilt, and USC.
Okay, so we have the same except obviously the Big Ten team in there is switched. BYU, Vanderbilt, Oregon, and Oklahoma are the four I have.
Yeah, because like as much as it would be fun and hilarious to see two group of five teams get in it, it's not going to happen because JMU's got that one loss and they'll probably slip up again just because that's just how these sort of things go.
No, 100%. And I mean, like, I'm not sure what JMU's non-conference looked like, but I can't imagine it was anything particularly notable. Let's see.
No.
We got Weber State, the loss to Louisville, their one loss in the year, and then I don't even know what the other non-con game was. Oh, they haven't played it yet. They play Wazoo, so they could lose that one for sure.
Scheduling more competitive than Kurt Signetti does. Bob
Yeah.
Chesney, get your heart out. Bob Chesney might not be coaching in Harrisonburg next year. He'll be somewhere else.
No, especially with what Sig's doing, I could 100% see that. Those like I understand it is not the same program, but that is the stuff that happens whenever like you see like a pipe like you it happened with and I mean granted it worked out in some cases, but I mean it happened at App State there for a little bit where you had Scott Satterfield and then like drink coach for 1 year at App State and then got the Missouri job. Like you see these like kind of like pipelines sort of form.
100%. So let's go back. Let's go through our playoff matchups. So I've got A&M, Ohio State, Alabama, and Indiana as my first four buys. I've got Georgia hosting James Madison. Tommy Carinante, Tommy Calamari come to Athens. It's not going to be a good time, but I'll show you a good time.
That's right. Yeah.
6-11, Ole Miss versus Georgia Tech. That's got 1950s written all over it.
100%.
7-10 Texas Tech versus Oregon. I hope Texas Tech beats the snot out of Oregon.
I think they would for sure.
And then Notre Dame hosts Texas in the ultimate helmet game there
Yeah.
in South Bend.
Yeah, that the ratings bonanza. Thank the CFP is thanking God for that matchup. I like same four buys, just different order. Indiana, Texas A&M, Ohio State, Alabama. 5-12, I have Texas Tech hosting USF. A lot of points in that game is what I would foresee. See a lot of points happening. In the 6-11 matchup, we get Clean old fashioned hate part two. Georgia hosting Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech does occasionally win in Athens, so that scares the hell out of me.
7-10, Ole Miss hosting USC. That'd be a fun game. I would like to see that. And then I also have Notre Dame hosting Texas.
Lane versus Lincoln. What a day.
I need that. I need that.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. And you know what else I need? I need a seat on Eric Crouch's couch because we're coming to you live from Eric Crouch's couch.
Hell yeah, brother.
Who makes our three-man Heisman Trophy ballots some 11 weeks? And pretty down on Fernando Mendoza, but does he make my bracket, make my top three? We'll see. All right. Let's see how we go. Who do you want to go one, two, three, or do you want to go three, two, one with this?
Let's go 3-2-1.
All right. At three for me, I will still go Fernando Mendoza at three. I would
Okay.
still do that because as much as I would have put Gunnar Stockton in there, I think Mendoza's quarterbacking the team that's going to be playing at they're the only team that's a certain lock right now to make the playoff. And I do think Stockton eventually gets to New York, but like I think with Mendoza, even if he didn't play particularly well versus Penn State, he has the game-winning touchdown. Even though I think Omar Cooper Jr. bailed him out tremendously.
Okay. So I have Mendoza a little bit later.
Yeah.
I at three, I have Ty Simpson. And I think that I'll go ahead and spoil this. I don't have Julian Sayin on my ballot because I don't respect anything that he's done to this point. You get to play with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate against nobodies. And lo and behold, you stat padded against nobodies. And like I hate that. It bothers me immensely. And to Fernando Mendoza's credit, when we get there, he threw 5 touchdowns in the Illinois game, which has been one of their toughest games on the schedule. Julian Sayin didn't do that. You look at like you talk about, the Heisman moment against Penn State. Yes, Omar Cooper Jr. made a great catch. He also was like put the throw where only Omar Cooper Jr. was going to be able to make a play on that ball. And let's not forget the throw that set up that throw to the sideline to the I can't remember the kid's name, the kid who was filling in for Elijah Surratt. Not to mention Elijah Surratt wasn't in that game, and he also had a few big time throws in the Oregon win. So like I'm regardless. I have Ty Simpson though. Everything he's doing is phenomenal. I just don't think, frankly, the touchdown stats aren't there. He only has 21 touchdowns on the year, and like that's where I'm like, you got to get the counting stats up just a little bit higher if you're going to compete at that, especially at Alabama where you're not going to be given the benefit of the doubt.
Uh, I'll give you my, I'll just give you mine because so I do not have Julian Sayin in
Oh
my
yeah,
top three. I kind of feel the same sort of thing too, where like for whatever reason, I kind of feel like whoever loses the Big Ten championship is going to stumble considerably in this
yeah.
because they haven't played anybody. So I'd probably have him five behind Stockton and Mendoza.
That's probably where I would have it as well.
Two, I've got Marcel Reed, and I have Ty Simpson winning the Heisman right now.
I also have Marcel Reed at two. Not much to say. Like he's a damn good football player, man, and he's putting up numbers, and he's a very fun player. But I do think that much like Ty Simpson, much like Julian Sayin, I think like if I'm looking at the Heisman race, the guys who are doing the most, I think with like the most individual like narrative, what at least narratively, like the most individual like accolades deserved for what they've done. Fernando Mendoza and Gunnar Stockton are those two guys to me.
Yeah, because I feel like Mendoza, and again, like I put him on a pedestal, and he's kind of scared me a little bit. So,
Yeah,
if he goes out there and beats Ohio State, he's going to win it. That's fine. I think
yeah.
that's inevitable. He's going to be a finalist for it. I had a thought about him playing for the Jets, and that's scary. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, Jet, anyone playing for the Jets is not a good thing.
Do you think Ty Simpson wants to go do that? You want to go be a Richard Todd 2.0, going to be Greg McElroy 2.0? God no.
I'm sure he doesn't want to, but he might end up getting it. Might not have really a say in the matter.
I think Rick Reed at two feels like okay, you're playing quarterback, you're one of the best dual threats in the league, you're on the team that hasn't missed a beat there in the SEC. Really grown as a passer. The best part is
Mhm.
I think he's going to be coming back for another year. If he doesn't win it this year, he might be the guy to win it next year
Yeah,
potentially. Um, and I think the reason I've got Simpson is like you've had to run the gauntlet. You've played so many good teams. You've played in so many tough spots here. And I think the fact that you don't have a running game
yeah.
really kind of shows what he can do. But yeah, I think Simpson and Stockton and maybe even Mendoza, like they're doing stuff where I think Sayin and Reed, it's kind of being played out for you. Where like I think could they be doing what the other guys doing in their spots?
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's completely fair. I'm probably, I don't know, like I'm looking at Ty Simpson's game log right now, and again, I mentioned like he only has 21 touchdowns on the year. Put that in perspective, Julian Sayin has 24, Fernando Mendoza has 26, and that's just passing. Mendoza has five on the ground as well, so like 31 touchdowns. Like he's leading that category in terms of total touchdowns. But you look at Ty Simpson's numbers, and like I'm not saying he's played poorly against like the highest level of competition, but of the 21 touchdowns, nine of them came against Florida State, ULM, and Wisconsin. Like that's more than a third of your touchdowns came against the worst teams that you played.
And I know you're more tied into like stats and everything like that. I'm kind of more of like the narrative thing. And like, obviously, this is all because I grew up like a big baseball fan. You're like, let's give Mike Trout the MVP. Mike Trout has no dog in him whatsoever. I don't care what his numbers are. It's like giving an MVP to a last place team is stupid. Like, you got to give it to a guy who's like, the reason your team has gotten this far is because of you. That's how I've always
In
kind of
fairness,
been.
what would the Angels have been without Mike Trout? Like they were dog water with him. Imagine what they would be without him.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like,
I'm just saying, like,
I'm always kind of been in favor of like, give like a Christian Yelich like an MVP for what he does to help the Brewers be like really good. Or like, I try to think like who's gonna win it. Okay, Cal Raleigh, like yeah, or Aaron Judge, like they've helped like get really good teams there in the American League. I'm like,
yeah,
that's fine. Otani locked Ippy in prison forever, and I refuse to vote for him, but other people will, and that's fine.
yeah. I mean, what he's done on a baseball field is undeniably impressive, regardless of what you think otherwise.
God, baseball's got some great people in that sport, don't they?
Yeah, shouts to Emmanuel Clase because that just came out today that he's being indicted. So that's fun.
Also, we may not have to talk about Trailer Park Boys anymore. Mike Smith's not doing so hot. Poor Bubbles.
We don't like that.
Oh God, we gotta find new things to like, man. It sucks.
Our childhoods are getting ruined constantly.
And speaking about childhoods getting ruined, let's move on to some Do Hast or Do Hast here.
Mm.
We talked about this potentially for we thought this is a great segment for today's show, but Garrett Nussmeier is kind of going through it. So Do Hast or Do Hast, he got benched last night.
hmm
Has he ruined his NFL draft stock?
For 2026, Duhast 1S. Yeah, like if he goes in the draft now, I don't know, like you'd be lucky to be a day two pick at this point. And we were talking about him as like a surefire first rounder. I think that it's not irreparable. I think that if he has another year of eligibility and he goes somewhere else other than LSU, like I think it's one of those situations where he's just completely run his course with LSU and needs to go somewhere else. It honestly, obviously, very different players, don't get me wrong, but I see it very similarly to almost like a Jalen Hurts type of situation at Alabama where look, Jalen Hurts did a lot of great things for Alabama, but there was a certain point where it was like it's to his team and like you just like we need to turn the page and we need to do that. And I think both Nuss and LSU are on that page right now because I don't think Nuss forgot how to play quarterback. I don't think that's the case. I think that he just ended up in a substantially worse situation and the culture in LSU went to hell. And like it was just the perfect storm to like make things look bad. And like he has looked bad in the process. He has not helped things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like trying to make excuses for him. He does have to redeem a lot of his stock. But I do think that situationally, yeah, I don't think many quarterbacks would have succeeded in this situation.
I don't think he's got another year of eligibility after this. I'm looking this up on Wikipedia because that's clearly accurate. He's played in 7 games in 22, 7 in 23, 13 last year, and 9 so far this year. So, and he took the red shirt there in 21, but he still played in 4 games. And again, I don't know what's like. Maybe he'll try to fight for like one more year of eligibility, but like
Yeah.
that's kind of frightening. There was some vibes that he was giving off on the sidelines last night that did not look good. It looked like he was getting into it with Frank Wilson, like Jeff George and June Jones. Like we saw how that ruined both of their careers. And honestly, I kind of looked at them on the sidelines. He kind of gave off some Mettenbergian vibes, and I'm like, oh God.
I mean, that's completely fair. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses for Nuss. And, like, if he doesn't have any eligibility left, then yeah, like, he will be lucky to be a top 100 pick, which is crazy to think when, like, considering how we were talking about him coming into the year. But, like, he's obviously talented. He'll get it. Like he's not going to go undrafted. Like he's
Yeah.
too talented to not go undrafted. He has NFL bloodlines. Like that's going to help him. Like his stock isn't completely dead, but it's depleted very heavily.
So we've talked about Mendoza and Simpson as probably your first two quarterbacks off the board. There's a lot of people who are very high on Dante Moore. Again, I'm not quite there, but like this may not be a good quarterback draft class, which is why like Simpson and Mendoza have to go.
Yeah, 100%. And like it's going to make Moore's decision very interesting because like he's pretty clear cut like the QB3. Some people have him as QB2. I don't agree with that at all, but like at least he's a top 3 quarterback in this class and like if you're talking about like I'm gonna assume pretty safely that Lenora Sellers is coming back to school. Like he's
Hmm.
probably not going to the NFL draft. And if that's the case, like who the hell would QB3 be if Dante Moore's not in there? So like if you're Dante Moore, you have to weigh the idea of like, yeah, you probably could benefit from another year at Oregon, but at the same time, you're also turning down the potential to be a like potentially a top 10 pick.
Yeah, and I think that's why Nuss is probably QB3. That's why he's got to go.
Yeah, 100%. And but like, yeah, I mean it's either Nuss or like Carson Beck. Like it's not an attractive group of options.
I'm trying to even think. Like Aller's got an injury. Klubnik's been hurt. Neither have played well. Stockton will come back for one more year. I don't think that
Yeah.
they would do that.
Mateer potentially if he like I think he should come back to Oklahoma for another year, but like he could potentially leave. That's another name to throw in there. And I think I would probably have him above Nuss right now, just based on what we've seen. And so yeah, I mean it's gonna be yeah, I'm trying to think if we're missing anybody. I don't think we are. Do.
Chandler Morris is out of eligibility, but he's not going to be ahead of him. Trying to think, Castellano's not going to be ahead of him.
Levitt's probably going to go back to school after a season ended
Yeah,
early.
I would venture to guess
I mean,
Morton maybe.
an interesting one that I had forgotten about that we might need to have a conversation with, and it depend like how he finishes the year obviously matters. Jade Maeva could
Yeah,
potentially be a guy that sneaks up in there.
there's another guy that I think could be. I don't think he's going to be that high, but have you seen what Joe Fernando has done at UConn? Like he hasn't thrown a pick yet.
Dude, he's I mean, shout out to UConn, man. They're playing some ball.
Because I mean, he started the Maine Black Bears in 2019, so I think he's done, but he's gonna get drafted.
No, 100%. And I don't think it'll be this year, but there are going to be some conversations going into the 2026 season and thinking about the 2027 draft that are going to make people uncomfortable. Nico's been playing some really good football at UCLA.
Yeah. And with the UConn quarterback, I made they made the G silent because I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, we're not worried about
Uh, uh, what's his nickname is J Fang because it can't be the.
it. Can't be anything else, man.
But I guess tie all of this with Nussmeier, it's like I, this should be right there in front of you. There should be Aaron Boone right there in front of you, and somehow he's screwing this up. I don't. It's like Daniel Jones out there, and he won the game today. But like this is a guy whose dad is the offensive coordinator for the Saints, and
Mm.
that'll help him through the whole grooming process. But like, what would it say if he's not a top 45 pick?
I mean, like, it's a further indictment of Brian Kelly, if we're being really honest. Like, that's part of the equation that needs to be factored in there. But also, like, it's like I know it sounds like I'm making excuses for him. Like point blank, the fact that you can't find ways to compensate for your offensive line being worse than the NFL draft pick littered one that you had a year ago, and you can't find ways to compensate, that's a problem. That is a
Yeah,
big problem. And like you have to like you have to wonder, and maybe I'm reading too much into this. This is a little reckless speculation, but I mean, like
hell yeah,
his dad is a a great offensive line coach, a storied offensive line coach in his career, and obviously he's an offensive coordinator now, but he's an offensive line guy. Is where we started out there, and you have to wonder if like the result of that is Garrett Nussmeier not really like learning how to cope with like poor offensive line play in his quarterback development. And like again, that's a problem, not a good thing.
yeah. I think like when it comes to Nussmeier again, he's Doug Nussmeier. He played. at Idaho. I think he won the Walter Payton Award at Idaho back in the 90s, and he was a backup for the Saints, played with the Broncos, Colts, and Bears, and the BC Lions. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nathan Fielder's favorite team. So like quarterback's guy, but his game plans have always centered around the running game. So offensive line's always been very important to him with what he does. He's never been a spread the ball out type of guy.
No.
No. So like maybe that's part of it too. Nussmeier is also Garrett Nussmeier is also a big guy, but like I don't know, man. Like it's so frustrating. Like he should be a top 15 pick, and the fact that he's playing himself out of this with some decision making and stuff is insanely frustrating.
No, it's definitely not what you want to see, and like certainly not good for my personal brand as one of the biggest Garrett Nussmeier champions.
It'd be like that sometimes. And you know what's good for the brand? Let's move on to our fourth topic here with some 4 for 4. This is going to be fun. We've been wanting to do this for a while, but we you made it better. We're going to throw some Paul Finch Sat Komodo contenders in here.
That's right.
What upper third quartile team in each P4 league do you just don't trust? And we obviously work our way down alphabetically, and we're going to start with your league in the ACC. Who do you not trust?
Well, let's be clear. The hardest part of the ACC was figuring out which one I trust the least because I don't trust any of them. I don't think any of them are good. I went with Louisville though. The more I thought about it, because kind of what we talked about on Saturday night in the reaction show, like this defense is booty, and Miller Moss is not like I don't think Tyler Shuck is a world beater, but Miller Moss is decidedly worse than Tyler Shuck. And
Mhm.
like you look at this, like it feels like it is coaching having to overcome everything, and like that's only going to take you so far in college football.
I have a repeat case we did, and Louisville was my top choice here too for that same sort of reason. Miller Moss doesn't like getting hit. At least Tyler Shuck, like he's a big body. He wants to play in the NFL. Miller Moss is not an NFL player because
Yeah.
he's afraid of that. You have Chris Bell, who's going to be a top 45
Mhm.
pick at wide receiver. He's fantastic. Was it is Owens? I always get him and the A&M running back confused.
Owens, because I think that's because Owens like originally was committed to Louisville and then flipped
Yeah,
to Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken.
but Louisville can run the ball too. And as far as defense goes, like Louisville's always got defensive backs, but like the front seven's usually a tire fire, so they're usually the Falcons. That's kind of
Yeah.
what they are. But yeah,
Isaac Brown is the Louisville running back.
Isaac Brown and Bell and Miller and Moss and um
If you have a car, if you were in a car accident and need legal help, call Bell Brown Ross.
I I don't know. I'm going to be meaning. I might put the Arizona State podcast on blast. He talked about like future baby names, and she really likes the name Miller. So Miller Bueller. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. And now we can't do it because like Miller Moss has ruined that name for me.
Yeah, we can't be having that.
Yeah, we can't have a weak child. We can't do it.
You just got to tackle him early. That's all.
No, it's going to be have terrific faces and blonde hair, and it can't be weak.
That's right.
But yeah, you're right there. Like it's coaching, and Miller Moss just is not about that. The other team I had was Pitt, and the
Mm.
reason for that is Mason Heinschel is only a freshman, and it's also Pitt, and that's all you really need to know.
Pat
But
Narduzzi is the head coach of Pitt. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
yes, Narduzzi land. Mason Heinschel's never been inside before.
No, God, no.
He doesn't
100%.
wear he doesn't wear shoes. He's like Johnny from the Wild Thornberries.
Yeah, into the wild, asked Mason Heitchell.
When you interview him, he just sounds like Flea in front of a microphone.
That's, that's right.
Okay, Big Ten. Who do you not trust?
So I put Oregon, but like that answer is very obvious. So like I didn't want to. I knew we'd already talked about Oregon. So like I put another answer here. I have Michigan, and the reason I don't trust Michigan is the ceiling's not there. I think
Right.
they are. I think they have the like one of the highest floors in the country. Like their baseline is so high based on the talent level, based on their coaching staff outside of Sharon Moore, who we're still not sure on. But like I just think the baseline is so high. But I think their ceiling is very close to that baseline right now. And so like when you get them into a big game, I just don't really trust Michigan to be able to do anything other than like not get their ass kicked.
I did have Oregon number one. That was very
Yeah.
obvious. Don't trust them at all. Feel very paper tigers. You want to see this duck climb a tree? Can't do it. It's not happening.
Right.
I don't even know if those ducks can fly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Debated Michigan, but I ultimately decided to go with USC here. And
Mm.
my deciding line is I think Michigan's comfortable, like getting ugly, getting its hands dirty, winning just grimy. I love Sherman Moore as a good head coach, but like I think that like if they had to win a game like that versus Ohio State, I trust them more versus like Lincoln Riley with his visor in the rain having to play Eugene, or if it rains in Los Angeles, who cares? I just Lincoln Riley has been to the playoff. He won't win a game there
No,
because
God no.
no, but I mean, Michigan's been able to make the playoff multiple years in a row. Not last year, probably not this year, but like I think it's a little bit more in their DNA. Whereas USC, they've kind of got to level up, even though they have the head-to-head over Michigan. A little more dubious of USC, but I like to see them try.
No, 100%. And like I think that USC's head to head like definitely colored why I went with Michigan. Just because like USC in the end of that game hit a gear that Michigan couldn't get to. And like I think that's kind of where I looked at it. I'm just like, if Michigan like yes, I'm very confident that Michigan can win ugly because of the high baseline. Can you win pretty? Because I don't think they can.
Big old fat person.
She a big fat person.
I saw this thing on Facebook. It's always on Facebook. Somebody went into their boss who's on vacation's room and replaced the panel with Buffalo Bob and the dog looking down on them. And they have some Lubriderm hanging on by a
My
string.
God. Hell yeah. I mean, a bold move. Uh, Shouts to HR people everywhere.
You were my boss at one point in time. What if I did that to you?
See, that's fine because you know me and I would think it was hilarious, but other instances I don't know how that well I'd go over.
I think that's fair, and it's hilarious. And I don't know how well it's going to go over. Let's look at the Big 12 here.
Yeah, I've got BYU. I still don't trust them, man. Like you have a very talented but still a freshman at quarterback in Bear Bachmeier. You have a baseline of talent that I think is inferior to Texas Tech. I think it's inferior to Utah. Even I don't even care about the head to head with Utah. Like Utah did not play well in that game. Devin Dampier was a little banged up in that game. Like I think fully healthy, you put those two teams on the field, Utah is the better team. And like I keep looking at and let's not forget that game was in Provo, which is a tough place to play. But like I just do not trust this BYU team at all.
I trust them a little more than you. I don't trust Cincinnati. I don't trust
I mean, that's a
Cincinnati.
very fair, very fair.
I don't really trust Houston either. And I think that I picked those two probably more so than BYU. Willie Fritz, I think it was kind of a cash grab towards the end of his career to kind of make some money at Houston. And he's a good head coach and he'll win games there. But Houston, you have Connor Wegman. Do you trust him? He's Kyle Bobrovsky at quarterback, just the wrong kind of King Broccoli. And
Yeah,
then the Drew Aller of Mount Broccoli.
that's right.
You're not Lad McConkey and you're not Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
And then Cincinnati, for as good as Brendan Sorsby is, I think there's a depth issue. I don't think Cincinnati's recruited anywhere near the level that they need to. Maybe attrition will take the best of them, but like also Scott Satterfield, I don't trust him either. Never
No.
have, never will. He'll sell you. He's a Danny DeVito selling you a car in a Matilda.
Yeah, oh, 100%. The super glue going on strong.
He and Rhea Perlman directed that movie and produced it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That there's a lot of children's movies like from our era when we were kids that like when you like look back on them, it's kind of funny. Like another one that's kind of in that same vein, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Daniel Stern directed that.
Brick, my man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that so Rob Reiner he did Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Initially, it was going to be called like The Body because that's based on the short story that
Mhm.
Stephen King writes. Apparently, between 81 and 85, he just blacked out while he was writing it, and he doesn't remember writing Cujo. It's like it shows.
God, what a guy.
But anyway, like they were going to call it The Body, and I think Kiefer Sutherland was showing River Phoenix how to play guitar because I guess Kiefer's probably like 3 or 4 years older than him, and they
Yeah.
were learning how to play Benny King "Stand by Me," and that's how they came up with the title of the song.
Oh, that's sick. I love that.
Yeah,
Rob Reiner is the subject of one of like the most like biting lines of criticism I've ever heard from like someone who's like really into movies, and they were like, I'm trying to like get this right, but it's going to be a little paraphrase, but he's created some of the most important movies in like the 80s and 90s, and he does not have a single distinguishing quality in what he does. And I was like, damn.
What was that? Like they spoofed him on South Park. He's like, "Don't smoke around me, cough, cough." But he's using like butter to like lubricate himself out of his car door. He was in what All the Family too. He was the
Yeah.
boyfriend fiance
Yeah.
guy.
And I mean, like, he also directed, like, When Harry Met Sally. Like, he's directed a lot of really good movies, but, like, also, like, directorially, not really, like, any, like, calling card.
So he's Kiss, the
Yeah,
Kiss.
exactly.
I don't know if Kiss was good, but they were bad.
Like, honest, like, AC/DC would be another good comparison. Like, it may sound very similar, but damn, it's very good. You know, like that kind of deal. Kiss is also in that vein, like, to be clear.
Shout it out loud. So yeah, we got the Big 12 figured out. Let's move on to the SEC. Who do we not trust?
This one hurt me, but I went with Vandy. I have Vanderbilt
Yeah.
here. And I just think that like I love what Clark Lee's done for this program. You know we love Diego Pavio in this program, but like at the end of the day, you're still not at the like talent level of the top like the upper crust of the SEC, and like there's only so many times you can quote unquote shock the world before it starts catching up with you. And like we saw it against Auburn. Like Auburn is the more talented roster in that game. And like you probably still shouldn't have gone to overtime with them, but you did. And like I don't trust Vanderbilt, and it's why I'm still hesitant about the Tennessee game.
So there's four teams in the SEC, and then there's three. And the three are all on there for me. That's Oklahoma, Texas, and Vanderbilt. I don't trust. First off, I don't think Oklahoma is going to get there. I think that they're going to lose to Alabama, and because they've
Yeah.
lost head to head to Texas, that pretty much knocks them out. They've lost to well, so they lost to Ole Miss as well,
Hmm.
and that's a challenge. You got the win over Michigan, which I think helps you out. You may get a win over Mizzou, but Mizzou is probably not going to win a game the rest of the year. So they're kind of more like in the pretender category of like Miami, if you will.
Yeah.
Don't really trust Vanderbilt. I think the schedule is a little more navigable, and that's ultimately why I went with Texas. And again, I think if Texas is like should be a playoff team, they have the talent to do so.
Yeah.
They have the coaching. They've got all the pieces to do it. Texas is got to play Georgia. They got to play Arkansas, and then they got to play A&M.
Hmm.
All three of those teams hate you,
Yeah. 100%.
and it's
Not a
going
lot
to
of
be
love there.
no. And I think that they do ultimately do it because I don't trust the Big Ten at all.
Yeah.
But like when it's close, fourth and Sark gets in his head, man.
It's true. I fully understand that part of the equation.
So yeah,
Sark has given us no reason to think otherwise at this point.
Texas Vanderbilt, that seems like Oklahoma, that seems kind of like the right line there with the SEC. I don't even know. That was fun. I think
Yeah,
that was a little bit more on the ball because usually we do this, it goes all over the place.
100. I mean, we did just have like a 3 minute discussion about like movies, but you know, whatever. That's more on the ball than we are sometimes.
And we're going to be really on the ball here with our penultimate topic here with this or that. Um, Low key, my new favorite segment that we do here
Yeah.
because we have no idea what's going to happen. For those who are new to the show, there's a website called spinthewheel.app, and it looks like it's going to give you a virus. And it's got all the teams that are in Division One college football. It's got everybody from Alabama to Delaware. And we will spin it twice to see two different team names, and we just compare what vibes we like. And we do this six different pairs, so we end up doing 12 different teams. Whenever you're on the show, we get really good matchups. Whenever it's me, it's not. So maybe we're due for a stinker, but you know what? Let's not. Let's go with our first spin.
We're keeping the vibes high on this program, that's for sure.
We are keeping the vibes high on this program, and the vibes are pretty high there. First one, the Ohio Bobcats,
Okay, okay.
and then you got them going up against Oklahoma State. Yeah, Ohio, you got they beat Miami, Ohio. They're 6-3. They're going to a bowl game. They might be among the best teams in the MAC.
Yeah, I mean they're tied for first in the MAC. The MAC's kind of log jammed right now, so MACtion's going to be fun down the stretch. But yeah, Ohio, like that's not really a contest. Oh, the Oklahoma State vibes are so atrocious.
Could not be worse. Can you take Zach Robinson, please?
Yeah, he's most likely going to be free after Sunday.
I don't know if this guy's going to be free, but what about Mike Norvell's Florida State Seminoles?
Hmm.
Um, and then we got the Tennessee Volunteers. I gotta be. It's not super great right now in Knoxville, but you have Josh Heupel and you have Mike Norvell in Tallahassee. That's all I really need to know.
No, 100%. It's definitely Tennessee. And like I still maintain this. Like I've said it all year and I'm gonna keep saying it. Like the vibes should be higher in Tennessee than they are. Like
Hmm.
you are in a good spot program wise. It's kind of like a gap year. That's really what it boils down to.
It'd be like that sometimes. All right, third series of spins. Please don't give me a virus. Arkansas State.
Hot singles in your area.
But showing up at your doorstep, and then UMass. By default, it's got to be Arkansas State. UMass is the worst team in the country.
Yeah, I mean like I was prepared for most teams to not pick Arkansas State because I don't know if you saw, but the video of Butch Jones on Saturday walking into the stadium and asking where the fans were. So like vibes are not high for the Red Wolves, but still somehow higher than the Minutemen.
They are 5-5. I think like they're close to being a bowl team, but like UMass hasn't won a game yet for Joe Harrison. Yeah, they are awful.
I mean, it's just hard to call vibes high when Butch Jones is your head coach. Like the ultimate vibe killer. Nightmare
Whenever
blunt rotation, just Butch Jones.
whenever we do go to Amherst, we're either going to do we're going to do a JLN either with the Pixies or Dinosaur Jr.
Oh yeah, hell yes.
I feel the pain of everyone, and then I feel nothing. Okay, let's move on to our fourth series of spins.
Uh, God, I like Dinosaur Jr. That's a good band.
Yes, I could be Jay Mascis for Halloween.
Hell yes.
Clemson Tigers
Oh yeah.
start chopping, and then they're going up against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
I think we gotta go Hilltoppers here.
Yeah, I think they're kind of like the class of the of CUSA right now.
Like Clemson, like there's a real world where Clemson has to win Palmetto to be bowl eligible.
Yeah,
Like that's and like based on expectations, that's gonna kill the vibes pretty hard.
it'd be like that sometimes. Okay, our penultimate series of spins. Penultimate's like become my new favorite word.
It's a good word, man. I respect it every time you say it.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, here we go. Next series of spins. UNLV Rebels
Mm-hmm.
and Boston College. By default, it's gotta be UNLV. Boston College is just it's just a crypt right now.
No, 100%. And like UNLV, they followed up their loss to Boise State by losing to New Mexico, which is not really what you want. But I do think like in the wake of losing Barry Odom, in the wake of like kind of the upheaval that UNLV went into, like having the season that they're having under Dan Mullen, like vibes should still be pretty high.
What prior to Marcus Arroyo, they were winning like 4 games a year. Like they
Yeah,
don't go to bowl games; they're comfortably in. And then obviously New Mexico's having a really good time there with Jason Eck.
dude,
Maybe, maybe
Jason Eight might have been the best hire of this last cycle.
you kind of wonder maybe you should have hired him in Madison. I mean, that would have been
Yeah.
because somebody else is going to get him now.
Yep, 100%. He's gonna get a better job.
All right, and then we're going to move on to our final series of spins. Let's see, we got the James Madison Dukes.
Hell yeah.
Going to be hard to top that one, and the Akron Zips. Look, Akron's 4-6. They've won some games. They could potentially make a bowl game, which would be huge for them. But JMU can make the playoff.
Yeah, I mean like Akron is like the kid who is going to be held back like passing a test. That's what they feel like.
Akron's the Thurman Merman of the MAC. They come up with their report card, it's just straight C's.
Did you just say Thurman Merman?
We gotta do. Maybe we do that for a Christmas year week. We do bad
Yes,
Santa's.
yes, please. Absolutely.
The lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Make some more sandwiches. Maybe do two Christmas episodes. Who gives a shit? Let's do it. I don't
100%.
care.
Absolutely.
It's okay. We're good for one swear word at a time. But that's what we got here for
That's right. We're going by FCC rules. We get one.
maybe we get one. All right, and let's move on to our final topic of the day with some pouring out and some bowling.
Yes, sir.
We got what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, eight teams that we got to pouring out for, and we got one, two, three, four, five, six, nine teams that are going bowling. We got to pour one out for the Bowling Green Falcons. They made a
Yeah.
big hire getting Eddie George to replace Scott Loeffler, who's now on the Eagles staff. Bowling Green, this happens to them like they're a relatively decently resourced team in the MAC, but they will like have years where it's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, you did lose a lot. Like you lost Harold Fannin Jr., who was your entire offense last year. Like, and he's like playing as a rookie on the Browns right now, which I understand that's a low bar in NFL circles, but like still, he is a like bona fide piece for the Browns right now. And you also lost like not saying he's a world beater, but Connor Bazelak also not there anymore. So like that for a program like Bowling Green, that's not going to be easy to recover from.
The more pouring out of pouring out there for guys who aren't there, anymore, whether that's Shore Sanders or Travis Hunter. Colorado Buffaloes, they're 3-7. They lost to West Virginia. This team sucks. They're
They're
back to being
real
called.
bad.
I think Dion resigns at the end of the year. I think his health, his issues are a problem.
Yeah, I think that's a very good read on the situation. Like it just it and like not for the same reasons that it felt chaotic with, the Shador and Travis Hunter of it all, but like it feels so disjointed right now, and you have to believe that that's a big part of it.
And I think that's fair. It's also pouring out for it's just a bad day for the state of Colorado. Pouring out for the Colorado State Rams. I know they fired Jay Norvell, but this is a team that should be so much better in the Mountain West than they are. They just perennially disappoint. This is a team that we thought like could potentially move up to the Power Four. Like this is a team that like
Hmm.
to counterbalance Colorado, the Big 12 could get something like that too, or whatever it was. But like the Rams just are not good.
No, it's a pretty sad state of affairs.
And it's a pretty sad state of affairs there in Greater Chicago for the Northern Illinois Huskies. Got their skull dragged on like a Tuesday night by Toledo.
Yeah.
They were running the ball down by like 39 points. Thomas Hammond's just like wearing shoes on his hands at this point. I can't
Yeah,
believe that team beat Notre Dame last year.
there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of care on the Husky sidelines right now, and that's from Coach Hammond down through the rest of the roster.
Dude, they're like the fourth best Huskies in Division One
Yeah, shouts to UConn once again.
in Washington, and I don't even know if there's another Husky out there, but that's okay.
There's got to be somewhere.
Might as well. Gonna pour one out for the Stanford Cardinal. Your North Carolina Tar Heels took a 2-by-4 to Frank Reich's brand and put him in that coffin. Stanford's just kind of a dead program until they hire somebody else. It seems as
Yeah.
though it feels like it's gonna be Tavita Pritchard.
Yeah, 100%, which I think would be a good hire for
Hmm.
sure.
And then we got three more. Syracuse Orange, pouring out for them. Steve Angeli, they'd be so much better if he was the quarterback over Ricky Collins.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, like if it's impacted Fran Brown how he's being viewed. He's kind of been a little more reactionary here, but like Stanford won, no, Syracuse won 10 games last year.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. Fran Brown was reactionary last year. It's just a lot like you get a lot less criticism when you're winning 10 games.
Hell yeah, go
And
dogs.
like this is a guy who last year, let us not forget, said basically losers don't deserve to shower. Like that's a thing that he said last year. So like I don't think this reactionary Fran Brown is a new thing. Like I think that's just something that you're seeing a lot more of because yeah, I mean like the downgrade from Steve Angeli to Ricky Collins is way more substantial than I think anyone realized.
Yeah, I mean, Fran Brown, your team stinks, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. Pouring out there for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Trey Lamb, it's not going great there. Probably the hardest job there in the American by far. Nobody goes to that school. Very small. Occasionally you'll have a Steve Largent or a Xavier Collins, and then that's about it.
Yeah, and like even that might get you to a bowl game, and that's all you're like. That's the pinnacle.
And then pour one out for the UTEP miners. It's always a tough job. The one thing that always bothers me with this is they have such a like the Sun Bowl. It's iconic.
Hmm. Yeah.
You would
And I
think they
mean, like,
care.
there's been a lot of talent that's come through that program. Like, Aaron Jones is on the TV right now, like playing for the Vikings, and like it's not well resourced. You're in a very disadvantageous, like you're as close to the Mexico border as you could possibly. Like, you're just a far away from literally everything, and so like I understand the problems with it, but like also get Malachi Nelson out of my face. Like, that's also how I feel about you.
I'm not saying punt him over to Juarez, but at this point, like he's just needs to not stop playing American. He needs to stop playing American football.
Yeah, 100%. Get on the phone with Ty Buckner and see if you can pick up lacrosse.
Honestly, let's let Jordan Palmer coach the team. Let's see what he can do out
Hell
of the
yeah.
water.
I
All
love
right.
that.
We got 9 teams that are bowling. It's my time to be an idiot.
100%. So we'll start off, switching the vibes around. Brent Brennan has switched the vibes around in Tucson because the Arizona Wildcats, man, they are,
Bowling, 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 bowling. Long live the short king forever.
dude, and honestly impressive because like we were talking about this team like a bottom feeder, and
Yeah.
hell, man. And speaking of another team, we're talking about a bottom feeder. Our boy JKS and Cal and Justin Wilcox, we have nothing but love for them, and they're paying off that love because they upset Louisville, and now they are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling.
Damn right, man.
I love Cal in the ACC. It works for them.
Dude, so woke. It's great. No one's pissing teal right now, but the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. When your chicken's pissing teal, it's got to be coastal, brother.
As long as the eggs are white, right?
Yeah.
Our matey because the East Carolina Pirates, I feel like we have not spent any oxygen on East Carolina all season, but it seems like the program is stabilizing back to what we think it should be. And like,
Mhm.
I think next year they're going to be a team to watch in the American, and the East Carolina Pirates are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. They just need to find the right head coach. They were in like a bit of a doldrum in between Ruff and McNeil. Now they've got it with Blake Harrell. They're back to being a really good program there. They're gonna be five.
100%. Yeah, I expect them to be a factor next year. Iowa State, always a factor, has kind of faded as the year has gone on, but the Cyclones are still going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Even in a year where it doesn't always work out there for the clones, they find a way.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's one of Matt Campbell's biggest superpowers is Iowa State really hasn't been like atrocious under him,
No.
which Iowa State without Matt Campbell, a lot of years where they were very atrocious.
I think they've missed like 1 or 2 bowl games in like 13 years. It's pretty good.
Yeah, impressive for a very tough job. After losing Rich Rodriguez, the Gamecocks, not from South Carolina, but from Jacksonville State, are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. What's that? The quarterback, the guy, Charles Huff. That's not him. What's his name? It's
God.
Charles Kelly, I think. The guy with Auburn ties is the head coach there.
Is that right? God, head coach. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Charles Kelly. You're right.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's
Charles,
both.
because Charles Huff was Marshall and now Southern Miss. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Charles Kelly is Bo Chapmanix's godfather, I think.
Hell yeah.
The adopted godfather of Ted Johnson. What a time.
Hell yes. Oh my God. Shouts out to the Missouri State Bears, who I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't watched a second of the Missouri State
Now,
Bears this season, but hell yeah, they're going.
bowling, 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 bowling. I mean, they've won 6 games. They should be going to a bowl game now. They wanted to play up. They wanted to do this. And anytime that like you better yourself to move to a different level, go get it, man. Go get him, Tiger.
Who who coaches Missouri State now? Because that's where Bobby Petrino was coaching before he got the Arkansas OC job, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is correct. I have no idea who their head coach is.
Uh, Ryan Beard, which is a
That's
name.
it.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
That's
And then
is that
talk
the
about
guy from is
a
that the guy
blast
from
from the past. Quanzo Martin is the Missouri State's basketball coach. Shouts to Tennessee, baby.
so the guy from Ted Lasso is the head coach there at Missouri State. I don't even
Oh
know what
yeah,
city.
Beard. Hell yeah. Oh God. Okay, two more, and we just talked about them, but the Ohio Bobcats, man, they just don't go away because they are once again going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Tim Alvin, why did you leave, brother?
Yeah, vibes not quite as high in Charlotte. That's for damn sure.
No,
And
sir.
then one more. I don't want to say we called it because it's happening quicker than we thought, but we thought Jake Dickert would work in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and damn it, it's working because Wake just pulled off an upset of Virginia, and they are officially going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Yeah. The Demon Deacon. I'm in a Demon Deacon household right now. So this is a really exciting time. I'm sure my brother-in-law really cares.
100%. Yeah, it's big time.
Ah, man. Maybe I'm cutting out here or whatnot. We're just at an hour. So, and this was episode 225 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle 20. You can follow the show at CFP False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. I didn't know you were wearing a bracelet right now, but that's great.
Yeah, it's yeah, from when I went to the pilgrimage festival, it's the bride to be made us all bracelets. Shouts out Elizabeth.
That's really cute. I love it. I thought you were wearing like dog tags of like things that you did.
Nah, not at all. No,
No, but you
on my tours.
tours and stuff. Oh man, I can't believe we did this. We didn't even like this is probably the quickest you've ever done two podcasts.
100%, yeah. Like legitimately within like 13 hours of one another.
The guy from OCMS made it down the coast in 17 hours, but we did this show in 13 hours because this is False Start.